Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for joining us today.
And this will be another part of
Dowsing. This will be part 2. So we're going to start this time with the pendulum. Now, pendulums are different than rods, and some people find it easier to work with rods. Some people find it easier to work with pendulums. Now, some people will sit there and say, oh, let me ask my pendulum. Everything has consciousness. Everything is made from energy. The stones and the crystals that we use, they're called the stone people. They don't communicate the same way we do, but they do have a consciousness, but it's not what we consider to be a human consciousness. So when people say, let me ask my pendulum, inside my head, I'm sitting there thinking, you may as well ask the chair because it knows just as much as the pendulum does. It doesn't know. You are using this as a tool to access something within you that is going to connect to something else to get you the answer that you're wanting to find.
Is this connection your energies? Is it your light body? Is it your higher self? Is it?
There are lots of theories on that. What I think is that it kind of depends on what you're doing. I think you're talking to your subconscious, which is your access to your to the God source and everything else. So to me, I think of it like a child that's not used to being talked to, and I'm talking to it, and I have to coax it and teach it that, yes, I'm going to treat you respectfully and I'm going to talk to you. Some people believe that you're talking to your higher self, that this is its way of contacting you. But I didn't plan on getting into this part, but it makes sense to say it now. The brutal truth is that you are making the pendulum move and you are making the rods move, but the answer is coming in from another source. It's triggering the muscles, which causes the pendulum to move. It's not you moving it, but it is you moving it, because if it's sitting stock still, it has to have something to start it to move, which is why when most of us pick up our pendulum, first thing we do is we swing a small arc, and then we ask the question. But first you have to know what your answers are. Now the great thing is your body already knows the answers to this, as in your yes, your no, and your maybe. So I'm going to walk you through, but first let's show a couple different pendulums.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the one that I use, and I'll put in the comment section how to get this one if you really like it. It's called the Mobius cross pendulum, and I like this for specific reasons. One, just to put these up for comparison, look at the difference in the size of the chain. For me, a smaller chain is easier to work with. This has just enough to give it some swing, but it doesn't tire. You don't get as tired when you're doing that. The second reason I use this one is because this is stainless steel, the tip, and it will not pick up other people's vibrations, which is really important to me. I don't have to keep cleaning it. I know people who have ones that are hollow that you fill in, like if you were doing something for, say, mining, so you would put silver in it if you were trying to find silver or gold or whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's a very specific type of pendulum. This is not like that. I don't have to clean it, yet I can still use it. Like I said, this is small, but this part here is what makes this different to me than most of them. This is called a Mobius cross, and we'll show you a close-up of it. But it has grooves, and the grooves help you pull in the energy, which means I don't get so tired if I'm doing something that takes hours, maybe, like an energetic assessment of somebody, or I'm going through a list of something, trying to sort things out, like which one on the right list is the right thing for me to read or to, I mean, I have found doctors this way.
Sound of freedom says hello.
We've gotten a little bit of rain here today, so the cloud covers down and it's keeping all the sound really down here with us today.
And they're coming around for a landing too.
Yeah. But this one is a little different. We just picked this up the other day, and we're going to show you at this point a picture of a pendulum display at a bookstore nearby. So you can see they're made out of metal, they're made out of acrylic, they're made out of stone. This one I think is sodalite, but I'm not sure. But it's in the shape of the Merkaba, which we will show you a close-up so you can see it. The trick to a pendulum is you want it to be symmetrical. So you can use a piece of stone that is shaped like that one was with the tapering, or it can be rounded. this is an unusual shape for one, but it works because it is symmetrical. I have been to seminars where they wanted to talk about dowsing, and they gave us a piece of embroidery floss about this long that was tied onto a paper clip. And that works. It's just really lightweight. I like something with a little bit of heft because it's just easier for it to move. So that's why we do those. But there are all kinds of ones, and you can find what works best for you. But once you get it, you want to start your dialogue with it. You can just do the show me yes, show me no, and see what you get. Sometimes the movements are subtle, or there's not a lot of confidence in how to do it. So there is a way to find out what your signals are. And that's because you have 3 things here that store that information for the body. This is neutral, this is negative, and this is positive. That's the positive energy finger on the body. So the next time somebody flips you off, they're just giving you positive energy. This is easy to remember. It's no, because we go like this. No, shame on you, you shouldn't do that. That's why we use that finger. And this is neutral. So and it doesn't matter which hand you use, save me time. There may be one hand you're much more comfortable with. Find what's right for you. But the same signal should be present in both hands. So pick it up by whichever hand you want to use.
Voilà,
There you go. And again, I hold it with the thumb and the fingers. You can hold it from the side or you can dangle it. Now usually we're going to sit at a table and this is one of those times again, you want to make sure everything's uncrossed. And you want your elbow on the table. Now we're said, supposed to put your elbows on the table. But for dowsing you do, because you won't get as fatigued as fast. So if you can sit and put your arms comfortably on a table, then ask the question. And you can put your thumb out or finger, however you want to start.
In other words, this one would be?
You're neutral.
Maybe.
Neutral, maybe.
Neutral.
Ask again.
Ask again.
Yeah.
So, I give it a swing.
Just give it a little swing either direction just to get the momentum started and ask and say the question. And it's show me.
Show me my maybe.
And what you're seeing is what is very common. Most people, it is a motion where it just kind of goes around.
Show me my no.
Put your finger right under it. And you have to kind of let it find its way. You don't take the first movement that it does. You just let it find its way and settle into it. And you see his is now going this way. And that's very common. That is the most common no signal that you're going to see. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now do it again. But this time, put it over your middle finger for positive energy.
And please show me my yes.
Take a few tries when you're first starting out, and that is absolutely normal. Okay. So stop for a minute. I'm going to ask you to go run your hands under cold water. The reason we run our hands under cold water is if you're in a place of confusion or if you're not getting clear results, it's just a good way to kind of break contact with things. It's not uncommon after people have done healing work with somebody or they have done any kind of a reading or something to go and actually stick their hands under cold running water very briefly. And he's back. So.
And
let's try it again.
Go.
You can also try it with the other hand and see if that works better for you.
Okay.
I usually don't start with maybe. I usually start with show me no.
Show me no, please.
Okay, so we've settled into a horizontal movement. That's very common for no, for most people.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now try your positive one.
Show me yes, please.
Don't ask me why, but for some reason for me, if I put my hand flat when I'm doing it, so it's picking it, yeah.
Okay.
To me that works better, but you're going to have to put your hand lower and pull the other two fingers back to expose it.
Like that?
Yeah, but down a little lower because I don't want it kicked off YouTube.
Oh. Okay. You mean the pendulum lower?
The finger, maybe. I don't want it kicked off YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
A little slow there.
Okay.
Okay, so give it a little
There we
swirl to get it going and show me no. Say, show me yes.
Show me yes, please.
Okay, so it is settling into this movement.
Front
This,
and
yeah,
forward and back.
right. That is the traditional one for most people. And the one you have left is your thumb.
And my thumb.
Neutral.
Like that. Or like that.
Whichever way works best. I sometimes think like you're doing it right now, it works best.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Please show me my neutral. Thank you for the yes, by the way.
Now yours is kind of going at a diagonal. Mine goes in a circle. But diagonal, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is how you can find it out. So what you have to do is, I would let it rest for a day and come back and do it again and see if you get the same signals. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So that is how you start. But see, this has a longer chain. And so for me, this is more tiring to use. I have to move it up into my hand a little bit. Again, I would make sure if I was going to do long-term stuff, my arm was supported.
So thank you very much for being with us today. And again, if you would like to join us on our trip, please take a moment, subscribe. We'd love to have you.
Thank you for being here. And the next one, we will get more into the intricacies and help you sort it out.
Blessings to all.
Blessings. Thank you.
Bye-bye.